Okay, we are going to get started. So please make sure to type in the chat box what site you are from before we get started or right after class. And we're going to get started. So good morning. Welcome to Friday Flow with Ellen. This is going to be our gratitude flow since it is the day after Thanksgiving. I hope you all had a nice, lovely, safe Thanksgiving. And now you're ready to work it out. So we are going to get a pretty good workout this morning, but also a nice stretch. So let's start seated on our mats. I'm going to go ahead and grab my yoga block and sit on top of that. So start in a seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. This is going to be our gratitude flow. So just for the first couple of moments of class, I'd like you to close your eyes, start to focus in on your breathing, and think about what you are grateful for today. Maybe something you're grateful for, someone you are grateful for, something that you appreciate. Start to set that intention for class this morning, then start to focus in on your breathing. If it helps, maybe placing your hand on your chest, hand on your belly, and starting to follow your breathing, feeling the chest and belly rise. But really just taking this moment to be in this moment, be in the present. Thinking about one thing or person that you are grateful for. Even though it has been a very hard and challenging year, there's always someone that we are grateful for, always something that we can think of being appreciative of. And letting the image of that person or that thing bring a smile to your face or bring a sense of calm. And take one more deep breath here. Go ahead and start to open your eyes. Start to slowly lift those shoulders up to your ears. As you inhale and exhale, you're going to draw them down and back. Starting with very simple shoulder rolls here. Up, down, and back. And so with every exhale, just sort of letting go of any tension that you are feeling this morning. Inhale, exhale, down and around. We'll do one more big shoulder roll. And then we'll take our arms out in front of us. Palms are going to face one another. Take an inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to open them out to the side. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So big stretch through the front side of the body here. And then inhale, let's bring them back together. And exhale, open. So a couple more times working through the shoulders and chest. Inhale and exhale. And just checking in with your body this morning. Noticing how you're feeling, maybe a little extra full from yesterday, maybe a little bit more tired than normal, and that is okay. One more big stretch there, and then let's relax those arms down. And we're going to take our hands behind us. So we're going to lift up through the chest, through the shoulders, pressing your hands into the floor, taking your head back, and taking your gaze up towards the ceiling here, up towards the sky. We'll take about 2 more breaths here, lifting up through the chest and shoulders, really opening up that chest. And then slowly tuck your chin, come back to the center. Opposite stretch, hands on those knees. We're gonna round that spine as if we're doing cat-cow. So pulling your belly button in towards your spine, dropping your chin to your chest. Take about 2 more breaths here, and then we're gonna go in and out between those stretches, 1 breath each. And then slowly come up. So now we'll just do it for 1 breath. So inhale, we lift up and back. And then exhale, we sort of round the spine, tuck that chin in. And 2 more times here. Inhale, so lifting through that chest. Head comes up and back. And then exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And as always during class, we'll do 1 more. Just listen to your body and be mindful of how you're feeling. Inhale and exhale. Come back to the center. We never want to push our body to a point where we're in any kind of pain. A couple of things might be a little uncomfortable if you're up for that challenge today. But again, it's always your choice to take it at whatever level of intensity you would like. So let's go ahead and come out of this seated position. And we're going to come to our hands and knees. So a nice tabletop. We'll start with a standard cat-cow stretch. So we're going to place those hands right underneath our shoulders and knees underneath those hips. We want to flatten our toes here. And as we inhale, here comes the stretch. We lift the chest up, our belly drops to that floor, and then exhale, we come back to this one, rounding the spine and tucking our chin into our chest. And we'll do it again. Inhale, lift, and exhale. So a couple more breaths. Taking this nice and slow, keep going with that cat-cow stretch. Feel free to move it around a little bit. You all know I like doing those hip circles in this stretch, so feel free to sort of make it your own here. Great. We'll do it 2 more times. Great. And 1 last big stretch. Okay, let's come to a neutral spine. So before we push back into our child's pose, we're going to find a thread the needle stretch. So this is mainly for our torso, upper body, and shoulders. Doesn't matter which arm you start with. We'll do both sides. So I'm going to start with my left arm, reaching it up, inhale, get a little stretch there. Exhale, I'm going to thread that arm through. So I'm going to keep my hips lifted, drop your shoulders to the floor, drop your head to the floor, keep those hips lifted, and let's hold for a few breaths. That other arm is just relaxed down by your face. And if you'd like a little extra stretch, you can extend that other arm up towards the ceiling, maybe wrap it around and reach for the opposite hip. So just an option. If that stretch feels good for you this morning, feel free to take that. And 1 more breath here. And then to get out of this, we're going to press our hips back first, rather than pulling that arm back. Then we slowly take that arm back to the starting position. So again, being mindful of your shoulders and your neck in this stretch. So let's do the other side. Inhale, we reach. And exhale, thread the needle. So other side. Slide that arm through. Relax your shoulder onto the mat, your head. Let's keep those hips lifted. You can almost imagine that I'm reaching for that wrist that's extended. I'm trying to pull your arm through an extra inch. Feel free to take that opposite arm up to the ceiling or wrap it around. Let's hold for 1 more breath. And then gently those hips press back. And then we take our hands back to our tabletop. Let's go ahead and bring those toes together, making sure that our feet are nice and flat. Sometimes it's easy to want to flex the toes and sit back if our shins are extra tight. So I just want to challenge you to try to get those feet nice and flat. Sit back into your heels, even if it's only for a couple of breaths. Try that. And then adjust if you need to for your knees or maybe for your shins. And then go ahead and slowly lower that forehead to the mat or maybe to a pillow or block. And extend those toes out. Oh, fingertips, not toes. And hold here, child's pose. So honestly, you can come to this pose anytime during class. It's a nice relaxation pose. It's a nice stretch too. One more deep breath. And then let's slowly shift ourselves back up to this tabletop. So we're going to warm up the core before we come up to standing. So like what we did last week, extending your right arm out, left leg out as well, opposite arm and leg, holding here. Go ahead and tuck those hips under, making sure that back is flat and engaging those core muscles. One more breath. And then slowly bring it back to the center. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So we'll take a few breaths. It's an opposite arm and leg. Reach, hold for a few breaths. Go ahead and tuck those hips under. Hold that there. So drawing that navel closer into your spine, really tucking in. One more breath. And then slowly come back to the center. So now let's just do one breath. Inhale, we extend. Lift out. And then exhale, lower. So really just holding it for a breath and switching from side to side. Inhale and exhale. Let's keep our neck nice and long. Our gaze at the top of that mat. So inhale and exhale, going from side to side. Let's do 2 more on each side. So again, body will shift a little bit. Your goal is to keep it as steady as possible though. Should be on your last one now. All right, let's go right into that down dog. So as we're starting to get warmer, hands shift towards the top of that mat, or maybe you're doing this on your forearms. You're gonna tuck those toes under, big inhale, and big exhale, lift up. Ooh, let's pedal out our feet here. Give our dogs a walk. Press your chest towards your thighs, bend and straighten those knees. So you're getting out all the kinks here. Hold that for a few breaths. Again, this one you can make your own because we're stretching out, finding our way into this pose. Relaxing your head. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Excellent. Let's hold for about 2 more breaths. I want you to think about spreading your fingers wide and sort of pulling your biceps, pulling your arms and rotating them in towards your body. So think of that pulling motion with those arms as you're in that down dog. Okay, inhale, let's bend those knees. Exhale, you're gonna walk those feet towards your hands. Finding a nice forward fold. And we'll hang out here for a few breaths in this forward fold. You can press your hands flat onto the floor. Maybe it's just those fingertips reaching right now. Either way, you're relaxing your head completely. Nice lower back stretch here. One more breath. Inhale, we're gonna press those feet into the floor, dropping our hips just a little bit, and then those arms come up. We come up to standing nice and tall, big deep breath. Our palms come together as we exhale. We're gonna lower those arms down. Hands come to prayer. Okay, so we're gonna continue to warm up the body. This is gonna go into our full-on workout portion of the class, okay? So I don't know about you, but I ate a lot of food yesterday. So inhale, let's lift up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift, pretty basic flow first. So we're this halfway lift and then exhale. So let's just step out to our downward facing dog. We'll start with this floor sequence first. So down dog. Inhale, you're gonna come forward to that nice strong plank. Remember that our first plank, I usually have you all hold for a few breaths. So we're gonna do that again. So start with your knees on the floor, if it's been a while, because form is most important here. So you first start with those knees, you tuck your hips under. When you feel ready, then you just gently lift your knees off the floor without moving anything else in your body. So holding on to that plank, keeping the head up. Let's try one more breath. And then exhale, knees go down, chest lowers. But our hips lower at the same speed, okay? So we don't want those hips up in the air or lower than our shoulders. It all lowers together. Inhale, baby cobra. Let's lift up. And then exhale, retuck your toes, down dog. So you can press up and back, knees on the floor, and then lift into your down dog. Hold that right there. So I'm just gonna start from the base. You can watch and follow along. If you come to class every Friday, you want the extra challenge, you all know what to do, okay? So let's go through it one more time. Inhale forward, nice strong plank. Remember to tuck those hips under, take your gaze forward, legs are straight, unless your knees are on the floor. One more breath. Exhale, knees and chest, arms are glued to our side. All right, you should feel those triceps working. Flatten your toes, inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower, and then tuck the toes up and back into that down dog. So hold that right there. So that's a really big power movement in of itself. You can slow that down, you can speed it up, add an extra push-up, lots of options. Do what feels right for you this morning. Not necessarily what I'm doing, right? One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk those feet to the front. Forward fold, we've got to stretch out our hips here. So inhale, lift those arms up first. Palms come together and exhale. So quick reset in between. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down. Now we're going to work on those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Flat back. We always do this first. And then exhale. We'll start with that right foot. Take it back. Drop that knee to the floor. Flatten your toe. Lift up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, low lunge. Hold this here. So I'm doing cactus. This feels better on my shoulders and my neck. So holding this here, really pressing through that right hip flexor, but still also engaging your core while you're in this position. One more breath. Inhale, hands come down. Exhale, retuck that back toe. Lift your knee off the floor. Now this time we're gonna get into that other hip. So extend that left leg straight up. Three-legged dog. Hold this here. I want you to now bend that knee. This is a little new, a little different. I want you to drive that knee up towards the ceiling and open it up towards the side. So if you're not sure, you can look at my screen. I'm sort of opening up my hip, trying to get that knee to the ceiling. One more breath. And then inhale, just bring that foot back down. Exhale, you're back in down dog. Inhale, let's bend our knees. Exhale, walk our feet to the top. We'll come back up and do the other side. Inhale, reach up, slow it down here. Big deep breath, nice and tall. Palms come together. Exhale, okay? So same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float it down. This up and down also gets our heart rate up safely. Inhale up. So you should be nice and warm within the next minute or two. If you're not already, exhale, drop. This time we step back our left foot. We drop that knee, untuck that toe, lift the chest, low lunge, inhale, arms up, exhale, hold. So holding this low lunge, hip, knee, and ankle should all be in a nice straight line. They should all be tracking together. You're gonna stitch that rib cage together, start to engage your core. This here is a lot of balance. A lot of that comes from your core. So one more breath, really pressing through that hip. Inhale, hand comes down. Exhale, retuck that back toe. Lift your knee off the floor. We're then gonna take that opposite foot straight into the air behind us. So go ahead and kick it up. Now an option here, you could drop that other knee to the floor. So you could do this with your knee down and supported. So I'm gonna show you that way. So kick that leg up. I want you to bend that knee and now open up that hip towards the side of the room and try to get that knee up to the ceiling. So a couple more breaths. I'm doing it supported with my knee on the floor, but I'm still opening up that hip. Imagine you're making circles with that hip. Keep it open. One more breath. And then inhale, come back to down dog. Nice. Exhale, hold your down dog. Inhale, this time let's go through that sequence. Find your plank. Exhale, knees and chest. We lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, retap those toes. Down and back. Down dog. Hold that down dog. That can be a child's pose as well. One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or hop. Maybe ready to jump to the top of that mat. If you're feeling good this morning, inhale, reach those arms up. Big deep breath. Palms come together. And we lower. Okay, quick check-in. Are we warm? Doing okay? Thumbs up. Awesome. All right, let's keep moving. So shake it out. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Couple of standing balance poses now. And exhale, lower. So let's step our right foot back. Warrior one, glue your heel into the floor. So medium step back, lift your chest. Just like that low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hold. So front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Warrior one. Holding this here. Go ahead and interlace those fingers and keep your pointer and thumb extended. That's just a little too much for your shoulders. You just bend your elbows in this position. We're gonna do this one more breath. Then we're gonna go into a different pose. So inhale, let's take those arms down by our sides. Exhale, I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades together. So we did this in the warm up. Maybe you interlace your fingers together. Either way, you're squeezing your shoulders. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, we're gonna drop our chest to our thigh for that humble warrior. So nice and slow. Pressing into your front foot and your back. Now, if you can't quite keep your hands together, just continue squeezing your shoulders together. Your hands and fingers do not have to connect. Drop that head down. No tension in the neck here, but you're bringing your chest to your thigh. Let's try 2 more breaths. Press into that back foot as much as the right. Now we're getting more. And then slowly press back, pushing into that back foot. Lift up nice and slow. Inhale, exhale to sort of relax those arms. We're gonna take them up. Inhale and exhale, we're gonna lower them down. So we're in that nice perfect position for triangle. So we practiced triangle last week. We'll do it again. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, rotate. Remember that the rotation comes from your torso and your chest. So you can start with hand on the hip, starting from the base, and then start to rotate over that shoulder. Maybe as you exhale, you drop that front arm a little lower. And then when you're ready and you have proper form, then you extend that top arm up. So hold that triangle. You want your wrist to be stacked on top of your shoulder. Now extending the arm, you don't have to do it. Always start from the base, build upon that. Perfect. Let's try 2 more breaths. Remember, imagine you're falling back into that wall, right? 1 more breath. Ooh, you guys look good. And then slowly pull yourself up using those side oblique muscles. Push into that back foot. Woo! Inhale, exhale. Let's cartwheel those hands down. Excellent. So we're in this low lunge. Let's drop that knee to the floor. Again, starting from the base. If you have a pillow or a block, feel free to use it at any point. So we're here, untucking that foot. We're gonna press this left hand into the floor and we're gonna twist with that opposite arm. So reaching that left arm up. Whichever leg is in front, it's that side arm that's going to be twisting. So I might look different in your view. I have my left leg in front, left arm reaches up. Starting maybe hand on that hip, and then extending that arm up. Let's try one more breath. And then slowly come back down. Perfect. That's why we want to do that thread the needle and really start to open up and stretch out those shoulders. Lift that knee off the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Remember, elbows straight back, gluing your arms to your rib cage. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, retuck the toes. Down and back, hold your downward facing dog. Perfect. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So down dog for about 2 more breaths. Tucking those hips under, core is always working. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, jump to the top. Forward fold quickly. And then inhale, reach up, big deep breath. Palms come together and we lower. So same thing, other side. Inhale up, exhale, float it down. Want to keep building that heat throughout the body. Inhale halfway, flat back, but also being mindful of how we're feeling. Exhale. So you can always slow it down or speed it up. Let's step that left foot back, warrior one. Plant your foot, find a nice sturdy spot, lift the chest, arms up, inhale, exhale, hold. Hold that right there, warrior one. Back leg straight, front knee bent. Tuck those hips under. Breathe. When you're ready, interlace those fingers, thumb and pointer. Trying to glue your arms to your ears. We're gonna get ready for that humble warrior in just a moment. One more breath here. Maybe you take your gaze up. Inhale and then exhale. Let's release those arms down. Big inhale. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, maybe we interlace them. We lift up one more breath. Chest lifts, just like that stretch in the warm up. And then exhale, let's lower. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Maybe those fingers are interlaced. Relax the head. Imagine the top of your head is going to the floor. That might seem far away from that, but just imagine that's where it's going, okay? Just let any negative feelings or tensions that are not honoring your body this morning, let them go right here. One more breath. Press into that back foot. Slowly, slowly pull yourself up. Maybe bend the knee a little bit. Inhale, exhale, just kind of shake it out. Take a breath here, reset. Arms come up, inhale, exhale, they come out to the side. We are set up for a nice triangle pose. Inhale forward, keep your legs pretty straight, and then exhale. So that front arm drops, start at the knee, hand to the hip. So before moving on, you want to have really good form right here. And then when you're ready, maybe it's not this morning, but then when you're ready, you extend that arm up and you continue to open up more through the side body. So hold that triangle pose. You can imagine that you're squished between 2 walls to get a little bit more of that length. If you did it against the wall last week, remember how that felt and how far you had to go back to really reach the wall. So 2 more breaths. Let me see it. Perfect. Either that shoulder or that arm. Ooh, you guys look so good. Nice Kishwar, BB, looking good. And then slowly press back into that back foot to bring yourself up. Slow, slow, slow. Inhale. Woo. Exhale. Let's cartwheel those hands down. We're not quite done here though, because then we have our twist to the other side, right? So cartwheel those hands down. Drop the knee to the floor, working from the base first. Even if you can do this with your knee off the floor. Drop your knee, drop your hips. Press that hand to the floor, and then we extend and twist to the other side. So now my right foot is in front. My right arm reaches up and twists. I'm taking my hand to my hip. This is my tight shoulder. So no extension for me. If you can make that extension, add a little extra length. One more breath. Really open up through that side body. And then inhale, take that hand back down. Awesome. Exhale. Now we tap the toe, lift the knee, and now we step back. Down dog or child's pose. If you're ready for a little extra work, inhale, come forward to that plank. Exhale, knees and chest. I'm gonna do that full chaturanga without lowering my knees. And then we move forward and up into upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, down and back, down dog. Hold it right there. Couple breaths. Felt like Cousin It with my hair in my face and then up dog. Hold it for one more breath, wherever you're at. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump to the top. Find a nice forward fold. And pause in this forward fold for a moment. See if you have gotten a little bit more stretched out throughout class. Maybe you can touch the floor when you weren't able to in the beginning. Just sort of take note of that. And then inhale, lift those arms up. Big deep breath. Palms come together. And exhale. Let's lower. Okay, check in two. How are we doing? Thumbs up. Okay, time to grab some water. I have coffee. I don't have water, but grab water for just a moment. And then we're going to come back in here. Okay, so we're just going to continue to add on, keeping that heat building. We'll get a nice stretch at the end. So just a few more minutes of work. All right, so inhale, let's reach up. Exhale, float it down. Halfway lift. I'm going to go a little bit faster just to let you all know. And exhale. So let's step that right foot back. Warrior one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hold. So you can follow along with me. You can speed it up. You can slow it down. Interlace those fingers. Inhale. Exhale, hold. Take your gaze up at your hands. Little extra balance challenge here. Take your head back to the center. Inhale, take those arms down. Exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, one more time, humble warrior. So maybe getting a little bit deeper. We're also not going to hold it as long. But we're feeling warmer and more stretched out to maybe get an inch further. Reach those arms up, drop your head. One more breath. Inhale, press up. Exhale, release. Arms come up, inhale, and exhale. They come down to the side, triangle pose. Inhale, reach forward, hips go in the opposite direction. Exhale, start to reach and twist. Hand starts on that hip, and then as you rotate and open up, you then extend that arm. Wrist on top of that shoulder. Extra challenge, take that bottom arm away from your leg and reach it out in front of you. Take that top arm over and extend through that reach here. So big, big side stretch, just an extra challenge. This is a lot harder. It's a lot more on your back and your core. So one more breath. And then inhale, push into that back foot. Ooh, exhale, hold. We're gonna open up to warrior two. So hands to heart center, palms together, inhale. Exhale, open up your hip and extend those arms. So take a moment to find that warrior two. Front knee is bent. You are much lower. Back leg is straight, but hip has opened up. Arms are strong. Looking over that middle finger of that front arm. Tuck your hips under. Recenter. Hold one more breath. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, take it back. Reverse your warrior. Big side stretch. Hold it here. Big side stretch. One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale. Let's go ahead and take that back heel off the floor. Drop that back arm. Reach it up to meet the front arm. Inhale. Exhale, palms come together lower. We're in a high crescent lunge. Okay? So remember, we started right here in that low. So you can come back to low, but now we're in this high lunge. Okay, so what we're gonna do is add that twist in this high lunge. So inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Okay, so here you want to keep your hips nice and low as you add that twist. You can drop your knee down, but now we're going to take that hand, push it into the floor, and extend that right arm. Making sure those hips stay low though. So on this side, I'm just going to drop down to my knee. I know my hips are lifted up a little bit. Big twist here. Remember, keep those hips low, extend through that hand, or keep it on your hip. Try one more breath. I know our legs are really feeling it. Work on those arms in just a second. And then inhale, take the hand down. Exhale, step back. Let's come to that three-legged dog. So kick that leg straight up. Three-legged dog, that left leg. And then inhale, bend your knee. Exhale, take it into your chest. Core and upper body work. So we're going to do a couple of these. You can drop that other knee to the floor while you do it. Little extra support. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, reach it over to your right elbow. So cross it over or cross it under. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale to that left elbow. Side crunch. And then inhale up. And then exhale, drop that foot down. Down dog. Inhale forward to your plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest. Now I'm getting sweaty. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the toes. Up and back. Down dog or child's pose. Awesome. Hold that for a few breaths. We got to do it one more time, okay? So I know that last part was tricky. Using that option of dropping that other knee, or maybe even dropping to your forearms. That also works too. One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop or jump. Forward fold, catch your breath. Inhale, reach those arms up. Palms come together, lower. All right, here we go, other side. Inhale, exhale, float it down. Remember, a little bit faster. Inhale, halfway lift, but you know the sequence. Exhale, so warrior one, stepping that left foot back, chest up, inhale, exhale, hold. So holding this warrior one, back leg is straight, front knee is bent, tuck those hips under. One more breath. Interlace those fingers now. Extend those arms, maybe take your gaze up at your hands. Try that challenge balance. It's a little harder than you think it might be. Woo. And then inhale, release those arms. Exhale, start to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, inhale, exhale. Humble warrior, lower down. Pressing through that back foot just as much as your right. If those fingers are interlaced, reach your arms up a little bit higher. Let it go here. Press into that back foot. Hold it, one more breath. Slowly press yourself up, inhale. And then exhale, release. Triangle pose, arms come up. Inhale, exhale, float them down. Tuck those hips under. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle. Hand to hip, hand to knee, starting with that base. Once you have that and it feels pretty comfortable, then extend that arm and twist back a little more. Hold that triangle, let me see it. So you want to try to get to that uncomfortable place, right? Perfect. If you're feeling really good, right? If you're ready for that challenge, try to reach out a little further. Extra challenge, take that bottom arm away from your leg and sort of make a half moon shape here. Woo, with those arms, you're gonna really feel those core muscles on fire. Hold that there just for that extra challenge. One more breath, and then push into that back foot, inhale. Woo, exhale, hands to prayer at our chest. We're gonna open up for warrior two. So open up from that hip, inhale, and then exhale, extend those arms. Take a moment to find that warrior two. So sometimes we tend to lean, like I'm doing right now, I can see myself. We lean forward a little bit in that warrior two. You wanna be stacked right on top and really press those hips down. This is actually challenging, really challenging pose. Shoulders down, tuck those hips under, back leg is straight. Almost there, Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, take it back, reverse your warrior. Staring up at that hand, finding a little more length. And then inhale, come back down. Exhale, cartwheel. Oh no, lift the heel off the floor before we come to the floor. High crescent lunge. Bring that back arm to meet the front. Inhale, arms up. Palms come together to the chest. Exhale. Run that high crescent lunge. Remember the option, dropping that knee to the floor. Try to keep it up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Get ready for the twist in the opposite direction. Press your hand to the floor. Keep those hips low. Inhale, and then exhale, reach and twist. Hand to hip. And then when you're ready, extending through that arm. Completely straight up. If that back knee is off the floor, can you straighten your leg a little bit more? Press through that heel. I'm just taking the option, keeping my knee to the floor. One more breath. And then inhale, come back down. Awesome. So our last thing of work here, extend up into that three-legged dog. Listen to your body. Kick it up, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Remember those options, dropping that knee or lowering to your forearms. Inhale up. Exhale, reach it across and under to that left elbow. So knee to elbow, big twist. One more, inhale, kick it up. Exhale to that right elbow, side crunch. And then inhale up. Exhale, lower the foot, down dog. Child's pose or go through the sequence. One more time with me. Inhale and exhale. Tucking those hips under. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Everyone find a child's pose. So knees wide, feet together. Take a few breaths here. Might be feeling a little bit out of breath. Maybe you're feeling really good. Hold for a few breaths. While you're here, walk those hands over to the right diagonal. Staying low. Feel that side body stretch. And then inhale back to the center. Exhale over to the other diagonal. And then slowly back to the center. And then walk those hands back up. Great. Okay, so we're gonna stretch out our hips. We're gonna do pigeon pose. That can be challenging for the knee joint. So I wanna show an alternative, and then I'll let you choose which one you wanna do. So really just stretching out our hips and glutes. So it'll be pigeon pose, which I'll show in just a moment, or this figure four stretch. All right, so again, the focus is the hips and the glutes. And we'll start with that right leg. So pigeon pose, you can start in down dog. Let's extend that right leg up. And you're gonna bend that knee, and you're gonna place that leg in between your hands at the top of your mat. Back knee is gonna lower down, and you're gonna flatten that foot. So you should feel this in your hips. You can slide a block or a pillow under your hips if they are still lifted off the mat. And then when you're ready, take an inhale. Exhale, you're gonna slowly lower to your forearms. And if you're in that figure four stretch, I want you to keep your head down, your neck relaxed, so you're not straining your neck muscles. And you can pull your legs into your chest a little bit further. Stretching should be a little bit uncomfortable unless we are just super flexible. So I just challenge you to breathe through some of those uncomfortable moments. Maybe take a deeper breath, maybe a deeper inhale. And then if you're in that pigeon pose, you're gonna slowly press up to your hands. We'll switch sides. If you're on your back, gently come out of that stretch and then switch sides. So I'm gonna lift up into down dog, take that foot back, and now I'm gonna take my left leg up. And then take that forward. So same thing on the other side, taking your time in your stretches. In pigeon pose, if you're ready, lower down onto your forearms. If you're on your back, pull those legs in a little bit closer or push against your knee a little bit. And just breathe. And then slowly press back up. So if you're on your back, I just want you to make your way over onto your side and come up to a seated position. Pigeon pose, just slide that leg back out and then drop your knees to the floor. So we're going to grab our foam rollers or pillows. We're going to do a nice stretch for the upper body and lower body. It's what we normally do in the beginning of class, but we're doing it at the end. We're going to start with those hips. So we'll start with a supported bridge. So pillow or foam roller, whatever you have. You're going to lay down on your back with your roller or pillow underneath your knees. And then we're going to lift those hips up. We're going to slide our roller or pillow right underneath our hips. So top of our hips, bottom of that low back. So we're in a nice supported bridge. So your hips, hip flexors should be totally relaxed. Other than being stretched out a little bit, they should be totally relaxed here. You don't have to do anything to keep these hips up. We're going to add in some stretches here if you feel comfortable. So you can, of course, stay right here for a little bit more. Let's lift our feet off the floor. Sort of wiggle our toes, circle our ankles. No weight on our feet here. All right, we're going to hug that right knee into our chest. Hand is right underneath that knee. Left leg extends up. And with every exhale, we're just going to slowly lower that leg. So inhale and exhale. So you lower a couple inches as you exhale until that heel gets to the floor or until you just can't drop it anymore. And while we do this, let's be mindful of our back arching as well. So still continue to tuck those hips under and keep your back pretty flat here. We don't want it to arch completely. Now, if you've gotten to the point where you're like me and it can't go any lower, then you can bend your knee and place your foot, if that helps, on the floor. Just depends on how tight or flexible those hips are. The goal is to keep that leg straight and try to get your heel to touch the floor without arching your back, okay? Just feel that stretch in that hip. One more, and then we'll just do the other side. And then slowly, slowly, you can bend that knee, bring it back in to meet the other knee. Maybe wiggle out those toes. All right, so now left knee into the chest, hands underneath, that right leg extends. Inhale and then exhale. It just drops a couple inches. And you can go a little slower than me if you'd like. Every exhale, just a couple inches. You should feel a slight pull once you get lower. That's normal. So imagine your leg really, really heavy. Just let gravity do its thing here. Tucking those hips under ever so slightly. So I'm going to bend my knee so my foot can touch the floor. And we'll take a few more breaths here. And then slowly, slowly bring that knee back into your chest. Feel free to extend those legs up and down a few times. Sometimes this just feels good, having all that weight off our feet. Okay, and then we're going to end laying down on our foam roller. So go ahead and place your feet onto the floor first. We're going to switch positions. You're going to lift those hips up an inch higher so you can remove that roller or pillow. Now we're going to roll to our side. This will just be our last position and stretch. So you're gonna take it lengthwise. So you can stack 2 pillows here, 3 pillows. We just wanna focus on our upper body. You're gonna sit on top of that foam roller. So you could just place a pillow under your back if you'd like here. If you only have 1 pillow, place it on the upper back, because we're gonna open up those arms into that T position we did in the very beginning. So feet are nice and flat on the floor, about hip distance. You don't have to worry about sliding off. Arms up, inhale, and then exhale. So feel free to do a couple of these, and then we're just gonna hang out in this extended position. Feel free to close your eyes. And if you'd like to end in a totally different way, that is completely fine. So maybe you prefer to do some sort of inversion. And then just lay flat on your mat. So find whatever is comfortable for you. Maybe get that one last stretch. And then when you're ready, just close your eyes for a few moments here. Maybe those arms go all the way overhead for that fullest extension and stretch. And perhaps the legs go out straight as well. So up to you. Bringing your mind back to what you were thinking about at the beginning of class and what you're feeling grateful for this morning, this week. Someone that you're grateful for, or someone that you appreciate. Or maybe it's just something that you're grateful for. Being able to exercise, being able to be with family, whatever that is for you. Continue to keep your focus on that, knowing that it will get us through. And slowly start to open your eyes and start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. From whatever position you are in, just slowly start to slide out of that position and begin to roll over to one side. And when you're ready, gently press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. And then once we're here, we'll take a nice deep inhale, reach those arms up, palms come together. Exhale, we lower down, close our eyes. Thank your body for showing up this morning, for doing this, and for being here. And then we'll say namaste to one another. I am so thankful for all of you. Thank you so much for coming. I didn't realize it went 5 minutes over. I'm sorry. But thank you so much for coming. I hope you all had a wonderful and safe Thanksgiving with friends, family, or with yourself, cat, dog. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday and wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Ellen.